my name is Eva and I am from Be Creative Art Hub. And today I wanted to introduce you into 5-lesson course that you received with a lovely special art box. And today is like our introduction day where I'm gonna show you and we're gonna test our supplies. It's very important to start from testing and practicing our hand before making these 5 lessons. So let's open the box. So we have a canvas. And do you know what is canvas? Canvas is used for acrylic painting. So we're gonna put this on the side, and we have lots of lovely colorful boxes and lovely supplies. So I'm gonna take out all this bag, and we have here artistic graphite pencils. We have watercolor pencils. We have watercolor paint. We have acrylic colors, and we have our sketch pad. So now we're gonna try our pencils. So for this little trial, we need our sketch pad and the pencil box. So let's open first page. And in this box we have 12 pencils. They are from 5H to 6B. And what that means? That means that the pencils have a different value from very light to very dark. And 5H is the lightest and 6B is the darkest. And HB is the middle of where they meet together. And usually this is what we use in our schools and writing, and it's our favorite pencil. Let's open the box. And let's see our pencils. Okay, so as you can see, this is where you see the number on the pencil, and I took the lightest pencil, 5H. And now on this paper we're gonna try our value wheel. So I'm gonna start with very light pencil, and as you can see it's very light and delicate. Then I'm gonna put the next pencil, which is 3H. And as you can see, it's getting a little bit darker, but not that dark. Then I'm gonna try 2H, and it's gonna be like a little bit darker. Then it's H. Then HB. HB, do you see it's getting a bit darker? Then B. Then 2B. Then 3B. Then 4B. 5B. And 6B. As you can see, it's very dark, almost black. And as a bonus in this box, we have also F. It's kind of the same as H. So let's see how it looks like. So this is F and this is H. So you see they are very close. So it's kind of like a copy of the H pencil. So this is our old box that we tried on this paper. So when we see the value of our pencils, it's really good to practice our hand and doing these little sketches, like how to make it a bit harder to press, a bit lighter, and test the different, shapes and shades, and just to give you idea, I have these little examples of the pencil drawings that you can do. So for example, I'm taking the pencil B and I'm just trying very light or very hard. Maybe I'm just doing a bit of squiggly. You can see maybe how it feels if you put some dots. Then I can take 6B, and as you can see it's very soft and very dark, but even breaks, well, maybe not that hard. Then you do very light, and just see what is the difference between 2H. Maybe 2H, you see it's very precise and thin lines. Maybe you can try to see how thin lines you can do, how close. Maybe then you can try a bit of the cross hatching, which we'll do for the next lesson. But all these little things is good to practice and feel the pencils for your next exercise. For next box, we're gonna test now watercolor pencils. And for watercolor pencils, we will need water, a tissue, and we can take out our brushes, which we have it over here, and the pad. You can use the same paper where we started with the pencils, and it's nice and actually good to have it a bit of black and white and color to see our values and how colors and black and white colors match. So let's get started. In this box we have 24 pencils, and you see there is white and black, and all the rest are the colors as our color wheel. So we're gonna start with the lightest pencil in our pencil case, and what we're gonna do the same as we started with the our normal pencils. We're gonna start coloring in and see how they do when they are dry. Well, actually, let's do 2 lines. So one we're gonna leave it as dry, and one we're gonna test it with the water and see how the watercolor pencils will work for us. So we're gonna do 2 lines. Maybe you can cut that. So I'm finished with all my 24 colors, and what is interesting that sometimes what they showing on the pencil, maybe it doesn't be the same color you are expecting. So that's why it's very good to test your colors before starting your drawings, that you would know which color would be good for you to do your coloring. So Now we're gonna test our watercolor pencils with water, and we have these lovely paint brushes. So you see they are protected with the plastic caps that we taking away, and they are quite hard now to make the shape nice and neat and pointy. To keep it that way, please don't leave your paint brushes in the water like that. Every time you finish your drawing, you leave the paint brushes on the side or the head up. So that's a very important tip to keep your supplies maintained good. So let's start with water on the brush, and I'm gonna see like how it works now when I'm putting on the color. And as you can see, it starts blending in and makes the color a bit lighter. So let's see like now how it looks, all the colors with, you see like how it starts like the colors, the pencil starts melting and the colors turns to like watercolor paint. Okay. And you see sometimes water went over, so it's good to have a tissue and just dab on with the tissue and do again. And you see the water was already transferred on the tissue and dried the water, and we can continue again with our watering. You see like there is too much water, so we just dab our tissue paper and we start again. Watering our watercolor pencils. On the dry tested watercolor pencils, try now to use a white color and see what it happens if you put a white pencil on top of the colors. Sometimes it is good maybe to make it a bit lighter. Or try the black pencil and see what it does. Maybe not that hard, but see what will happen if you draw the black pencil on top. You can always also, we can test it even with the water, maybe see like what will happen with the color if you put the black on top, and what's happening with the color. It gets a bit darker. It change the color, original color, to a bit darker. Where I put the white, maybe it happens something. So it's all good to test and see what will happen if you do put white. White we need a bit maybe harder just to get that whiter effect, but yep. So with watercolor pencils, it's really nice to try blend in and make like a fruit coloring, so you can pick up some fruits from your home and just try to blend in some different values of the reds and pinks for the strawberry, or lemon for yellows. Try to use as much yellow colors as possible, or greens. And this is kind of the examples of what you can do to try your watercolor pencils. gonna try our watercolors, and this is a beautiful metal box which is with 25 colors of the watercolor. And this could be your palette, because we will put some water and mix the colors. We can mix and actually make more colors if we need it on this palette, and then you can just wash it out with water. So for this project, to try and see how the watercolors work, we could even do like a little project like this, going from dark to light, and using even our markers that are included in our pack to kind of make a lovely picture. So we're gonna do this quick project and testing our watercolors, so you can follow me. We can always do on the other side of our sketch pad, or you can do on the new piece of paper. I will try to save my paper because this is still our practice, so I'm gonna do it on the other side of this paper. So let's get started. So I'm gonna water my brush, and I'm gonna choose one of these colors, which is blue, and slowly I'm gonna start putting that color on my page. As though if you want to make the color dark, you need to put more paint, less water. But if you want to have a light color, then you put more water and less color. So try to play around with the watercolors, because there is very good to kind of feel when it's too much water, when it's need a bit less water, to make our nice grading of the colors. So what I'm gonna do this time, as you can see, there's like a city buildings that we were doing, so you can just make, like, you know, some shapes. And this time I'm gonna just do in different colors. So it could be, you know, darker, it could be lighter, and you see how the watercolors work. The next step, I'm gonna choose another color. That would be maybe this purpley pink. At the beginning, maybe you need a bit more water to make paint melt, but later you don't have to have that much water if you're working on this. So now I'm gonna do like slowly going towards the light color, and the more I go to the light color, the more I use water than just paint. You see, like I'm just grabbing a little bit from a paint I used, and then I'm just using water to wet the paper, and this nicely blending going on. But not too much water. Try to feel that if you feel that it's too much water, when it's becoming like a puddle, use the tissue and just dab it down, because we don't want that it would be too much water, but we need water for diluting the colors. So you kind of need to start feeling when it's how much water you need to put on the paper. So now we're gonna wait this to dry, and after it's dry, we're gonna use the marker on top. So now when the painting is dried, I'm gonna use our black marker to go around and outline our painting. So here I'm drawing like it would be like buildings, like a city. And you can always do your own way, and what would you like to show in your city. So always think about, like what you would like to, how you would imagine your city looking like. So it's up to you what you want to show. So keep in mind that you are creator of this picture, and you can always think of your own ideas. Maybe it is like a countryside. Maybe it is like even the forest. It could be the forest with the mountains. It could be lots of there maybe you places you visit and you really like to be. This is kind of like your way to express, to remember good memories. Oh, I'm just thinking, like cats like to walk at the later night. So this is my kind of like expression of city evening time when it's quiet. Everyone is at home enjoying their dinner with their families or friends. So here I'm thinking maybe like on the behind the city there is like maybe some forest, or it could be like a mountains or like some scenery that is like the more you go out of the city, maybe there is more green, and so could be like other buildings maybe over here. And then we have this sunset, or like or maybe it's like already the moon is coming out, and the stars are lighting up the sky, and maybe there is some birds are flying, getting home ready. It's up to you. What would you like to to show? And so this is the way we were practicing a bit of like watercolors. Next we're going to look at our acrylic colors, and this is a bit different paint as watercolors we tried before. So let's take the plastic off your box, and this time we're gonna use you can download from my website a color wheel, which we're gonna make our own color wheel. And you might ask why we need to do our color wheel. Well, it's very good to know what kind of colors we have in our color wheel. As here you see, it's like, our basic color wheel which we have, but every paint, as we know, like we tried the pencils and we tried watercolors, they all kind of have a little bit different, colors. So, we're gonna try our color wheel with our colors of paint. Please be aware of these acrylic paints that they are we need to save them, and for this color wheel project, put a tiny bit of this into the palette. Don't squeeze it too much. It's very liquidy, so you need to go very slowly pushing it in. And you see this tiny, like a pea paint? This is how much you need for this project, so that you could have more paint for the next lesson. So we're gonna take yellow, orange, and you can see I'm peeling off this protection foil which was on the paint, and this is red. Now with the red, we have couple reds here, and it's if you look closely, now when I'm opening the reds, if you look closely at the reds, one red, the name is vermilion, and another is scarlet. And I would say this one is more red orangey, and this one is more rose color, like pinky red. So this is a very important part to know, because every colors would make a different shade of the other colors. So if we mix this one with the blue, it will make more violet color. If we use this color, it will make more orangey color. So that's very important. Even reds are making different shades of red of other colors. Sheet of where will be my palette, and you see I already put some all of my paints over here. And we need a baby wipes, or like wet wipes. We're not gonna use water this time for this paint. And we need the printout color wheel. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna clean our brush with the wet wipes when we're ready to paint, okay? So let's get started. We're gonna start with the yellow color wheel. So this is my yellow of these paints, and it is lemon yellow. Now I'm cleaning the brush. The next color is gonna be orange yellow, because it's next to the yellow, so it's called orange yellow. So I'm just gonna paint now orange yellow. Take your time, and you can stop the video anytime you need to color neatly your color wheel. The next color is gonna be vermilion red. Yes, so that one that is a bit closer to orange, but already getting look like red. I would say it's like a warm red, which feels like a fire, like hot. The next we're gonna take the scarlet red, which is already getting a little bit cooler, like pinkish red, rose red, I would say. Next, we're gonna take a crimson red, and crimson red is getting a bit even more closer to almost cherry pink color. Okay. So now, as you can see in our palette of the colors, we don't have a violet color over here. So we need to mix it. So by mixing it, we're gonna take the crimson red and a bit of blue. I'm gonna start mixing. And we see this lovely color. More, I would say, crimson red than blue we will do for this color. And it's getting closer to violet color, but it's not yet. It's more. Now we're getting a bit, we need to do it a bit darker. So we're gonna get a bit of this blue and add to the same color we just mixed. And it makes more violet color. The more blue you put, the more violet it starts to look like. Now we get a bit more blue onto the same color and starts to getting more towards the blue color. We're coming towards the blue color, yes, with this violet blue. Now we're going to use this dark blue and we're going to add to this part of the wheel. On the other lesson, we're going to talk a little bit more about primary colors and secondary colors and mixing colors, and we'll make a beautiful picture. But now we're just like exploring our colors, our paints. Now I'm gonna take this light blue because we're getting a bit lighter, which will get to green color. example, we're gonna get a dark green. And we're gonna take our light green, which is getting very close to yellow green. And we're finishing again back to yellow. So this beautiful wheel, it's very close to the print one, but it has a different tint of the color you can see here. So that will help you next when you do the projects to know exactly which color you need for coloring in your picture. And you can actually stick this small black and white wheel to show you the views of the color. And this one will be done when you dry, your wheel will be dry and you have a glue stick. You can just put your glue in and you can stick on your wheel. And you will have your own color wheel, which you will use later on for your other activities. After finishing painting with acrylic, it's very important to wash your brush very carefully and try to use as much water as possible, and even might get drop of the soap, and wash it that it won't dry. Don't leave the brush without washing it, because when it's dry it's gonna be very hard and then you can't use it again. So keep your tools safe and look after them, okay? So wash them after every time. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed to explore our lovely art box, and see you soon for our next lessons to come.